a rematch.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Fielded right around the 8. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And they're led out by the former number 2 overall pick from Oregon in his 7th season now. It's Marcus Mariota.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. Throwing again on second down. Mariota. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun. Mariota. And his throw here's incomplete.
And Charles, for this defense, they're a confident bunch. Some may say maybe too confident at times. How do you think that they approach a game like this when they're taking on a team that's lost 4 straight?
Well, if they're anything like their head coach, you know they're relying on that confidence. You and I both were sort of surprised at his weekly press conference when he was asked about this being a trap game. And he's almost boasting that he didn't see anything to worry about. That surprised both of us in a big way because we know that could be a dangerous tactic because I can guarantee you the guys on the other side, they heard that, and they're looking for anything to galvanize them.
Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He'll go underneath with this one to McKissick.
And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. It's a gain of 9, but it's also going to mean a punt here on their opening drive. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
We get a peek at Tom Brady as he brings out this Tampa Bay offense. And Tom Brady in his 22nd season overall and his 2nd in Tampa Bay.
So this is what we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside, everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
2nd down and 3.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football.
And it's Washington that scoops it up.
And they will take over with a football just outside of the 10 at the 12-yard line.
Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
A run here for J.D. McKissick.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Mariota to throw it. Over the middle, complete. That's Thomas. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now Mariota. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, first down.
Yeah, I guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
And his kick is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have the kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive.
They're at the halfway point of the season, Charles, 8-0. What a great start. Clearly a Super Bowl contender, if not the outright favorite, through 2 months to win the whole thing.
Well, there aren't too many bad things you can say right now because this team is playing pretty well. They've had a couple of injuries. That could plague them down the stretch. But their intensity doesn't waver. I think the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through them in the playoffs. And if you're on their road, things could be bumpy for you.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Brady gives this one off to Jones.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come. We get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
That was good tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Throw. It's caught by Mike Evans. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground with a tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
That was a good, strong run for a first down, and they are just dominating right now on this drive. They've stayed on the field, which consequently means the opposition's offense can't get out there and score any points.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And this one's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bucs have taken the lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point up and good by Succop. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because...
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18.
Try after the first down sack. Mariota. That's Samuel. Caught left side. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Here's Mariota.
That one caught. It's the rookie De'Ami Brown.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mariota now.
And that nearly intercepted. The free safety roaming into position, almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. On 3rd down, Mariota. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
And you figure this should be a healthy, a rested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top form.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
And this is going to be a Bucs first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football. Now a second down and 6. On second down, it's Jones. He stiff arms him.
And this is going to be a Bucs first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. A handoff to Fournette. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Fournette once more on second down.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. The Bucs on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5.
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home.
Montez Sweat drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. If you want a lesson on how to defeat an offensive tackle, that was pretty textbook.
Is that a clip and save?
Yes.
That's what's going to go around the league, and people are going to watch that and say, my goodness, that's how you do it. And I feel awful for the offensive tackle because we always talk about the athleticism of the guy who just beat him. Well, you have to be athletic to try and block that guy. Just in this case, the defense won.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. Now Mariota slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. To throw Mariota. Flushed out right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. They go play action. Mariota to the right side and complete to Thomas. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run with McKissick. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Mariota. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 36.
Yeah, big play there. When you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. Mariota. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing is Mariota. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 22-yard line.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. Well, let's see who's faster.
Again, it's Mariota. Letting one go deep for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Throwing, Mariota. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his 4th touchdown on the year. And Washington has retaken the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. The extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead is now 10-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and the result, a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From the 6. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Bucs ready to take over once again. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you get a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one. And I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
The give is to Jones. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So, CD, you talk about this football team. Some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely. But that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here.
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll get inside of Washington's 15 before being taken down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And it's caught. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Chris Godwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Buccaneers have once again taken the lead.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Suck up for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they show. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss, and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy, was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. And Washington, they feel like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision.
Mariota's throw complete there to Thomas.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
Washington on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point.
This is 3rd and 7.
This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. What a nonchalantly to throw the safety valve, and it's 4th down.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Here's the Tampa Bay offense, and Ronald Jones leading them out.
He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
And this is going to be a Bucs 1st down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
This is Jones. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
58 yards on the ground for him so far.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down.
Montez Sweat able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
The sack backs him up, 3rd and long. Tough challenge for Brady and the Bucs. Back to throw. Brady. Open man, Gronkowski complete.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along.
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Let's go, boys.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing on first down is Brady. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. To throw, it's Brady. Caught on the right side by Jones. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the gun on 3rd down, Brady.
This one incomplete. Probably should have been picked. A little nonchalant with a throw to the safety valve, and it's 4th down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And that will hit and continue on out of bounds.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And that one finds the Falcons out in front. Matt Ryan has a touchdown pass. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And that one all tied against the visiting Saints. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats in the first half for Tampa Bay. And they've had some success on the ground. And with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for Washington, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those passes.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback. And he put it right where it needed to be.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll try the right side here with Fournette. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line. It's 32. 66 yards rushing for him now to this point. On 3rd down, Fournette. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run with Fournette. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Here's Brady. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, Those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Now Brady. Touchdown! Rob Gronkowski, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is lets you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense. That's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially. But you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. Mariota to throw it. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Shaquille Barrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his
under pressure, and they got to him again. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure, but that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Buccaneers offense ready to rock and roll again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And he finds Howard complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. Running left, it's Fournette. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 56 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Muscle damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. On second down, it's Jones. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down. Play action now. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Devin White. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now Mariota slings this deep from McLaurin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And Brady's throw there, incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. Throwing is Brady on third down. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
This is Fournette. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Second down, back to Fournette. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 83 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Montez Sweat in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? We're usually talking about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
And here we go on the next drive for Washington.
And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. From the 31, Mariota. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. It's Washington with the football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4. Play fake. Mariota. And incomplete.
No grounding call there. He had a receiver near the right sideline. It was pretty clear there. He just needed to get rid of that one.
And he did have a receiver in the area, but initially my view was obstructed, and I thought that was going to be grounding, but clearly the correct call made, and that is no call.
Is that why you threw your play sheet down? Is that why you did it? Was that the flag?
You can't be giving me up. I got a lot of issues up here in the booth. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They'll throw again. Mariota taking a shot for Samuel. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
Leonard Fournette and the rest of the Bucs offense set to take over once more.
And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in the game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to, But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Brady now on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Evans. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now a draw play. This is Jones. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady. Going up top for Miller. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Brady's throw on third down there is incomplete. Here's Bradley Pinion now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Washington offense set to take over again. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mariota flushed. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Shaquille Barrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Washington on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 14. Here's Mariota. That's Samuel, caught left side. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Back now comes Tampa Bay. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Similar to a shooter in basketball who just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now a play fake. Brady. Looking downfield for Godwin. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. But we keep waiting year after year to see signs of Tom Brady's arm strength deteriorating. But his message there, keep waiting.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. And this is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Here's Brady to throw. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady. And the Buccaneers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Extra point put through by Succop. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Marcus Mariota and the offense heading back out for their next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Well, when you got a quarterback like this dead to rights, you got to make sure to wrap up. Instead, though, he breaks free, and off he goes.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. Washington on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This will be 3rd and 6. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
Well, we know the guys up front have to protect when it's a pass play, but it's really out wide. Sometimes you're going to swing a tight end or maybe even offensive tackle to get out there, but most of the time it's fellow wide receivers, and they really weren't up to the task there, were they?
Do you like that call on your own side of the field?
I don't mind that call at all, just about anywhere. But the key is you have to have the confidence, and then they have to execute their blocking assignments. Otherwise, you get the end result we just saw there.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A 1st down throw for Mariota. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Mariota now. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
To the air again, Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. But Washington looked to get this one back, and indeed they did. They will still have possession.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Throwing is Mariota. Man open left side is Brown. Now Brown, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Defensively, well done to jar that free. I'll tell you what, though, offensively, he's got to be lucky after the catch and the fumble that didn't go too far away from him.
And the way the football is shaped, it's not built to bounce true, is it? It can squirt in any direction and move in any way. He was so lucky. Thank his lucky stars, he was able to get that one back.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Steve McClendon in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Slings this deep from McLaurin. That's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason McCourty. And the Bucs are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, you think about it, though, that interception, great for his stats, but bad for field position. It was 4th down.
Yeah, terrific observation. If there is going to be a silver lining, and this is what he'll plead when it comes time to watch it again, hey, it was just like a punt, right? So we end up taking possession of the ball. But you're exactly right about it. Should have slapped it down. Field position would be better for his offense. But how many times do you get a chance to make an interception that you turn it down? That's when your instinct kicks in and you take the football. In this case, a better decision would have been to knock the ball down.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Leonard Fournette, 91 yards. And the Bucs are on their way to a 9-0 start as they build on to their lead.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Extra point up and good by Suckup. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Marcus Mariota getting ready to go again here on offense. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Mariota. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Shaquille Barrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And got his man complete. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now, here's the call.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. First down, Mariota. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? That's you create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Tampa Bay, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Jets. The turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.